All right, welcome back. I am sick and tired of the preaching of Pan Africanism. I'm sick of the concept. I'm sick of the idea. It is old and outdated. We have evolved beyond Pan Africanism, and that is why the people here on the internet who push Pan Africanism get no views. Ain't nobody trying to listen to that garbage. Black Americans not trying to listen to it. Africans, Caribbeans, blacks in the diaspora are not trying to hear no lecture about Pan Africanism. Pan Africanism is dead. And y'all mad about that. You're up in your feelings about that. But it's dead. And y'all need to move on. These non-black Americans come to America and hate black Americans. Don't sit there and tell me that Pan-Africanism is the way when these people come over here and have the most hatred for us. They come over here, they fall in love with white Americans. They kiss the ground that white Americans walk on, and they always disrespect black Americans. That's the rule. You might have an exception here and there, but exceptions are not the rule. The rule is for them to come over here and continue to be worshipers of white people, just like they were in their homelands. They come over here and then brought that white worship with them. You're not going to sit up there and preach to me that it's my destiny to unite with these people. And on top of that, like I said, they come over here with that tribalism, something that's foreign to black Americans. They come over here with that tribalism and they look at black Americans as an other. That is probably the main reason why Pan-Africanism is dead. Ain't nobody feeling that garbage. Ain't nobody feeling that pipe dream. And that's why these dudes is mad. You got Neferkari Dessalines always talking about how people attack Pan-Africanists. Oh, Pan-Africanists, public enemy number one. Everybody takes a dump on Pan-Africanists. No, we're not taking no dump on you personally. We taking a dump on that outdated, old, garbage ideology. Y'all need to catch up with the times. Technology has evolved to the point where we have the ability to examine, even collectively, the collective personalities of these people. Blacks in the diaspora. News flash. They ain't built for no Pan-Africanism. They're the first ones to come over here and demonstrate that it ain't happening. Come over here with all this Akata this, Akata that. Tariq shared a video recently where this foreigner who he came over here and was tweeting like Akata killer. if you examine their tweets, they have an insane amount of disdain for Black Americans. Black Americans are the last people that need to be preaching and pushing Pan Africanism. Why do I say that? Because we are the most hated group of all demographics. You don't have Black Americans or other blacks in the diaspora going to Nigeria and collectively disrespecting Igbo people, Yoruba people. Nobody hates any other black group like they hate Black Americans. There is a lineup of black people around the world who come over here to the United States and disrespect Black Americans. We are the most hated, the most despised black group on this planet. And you want to sit up and tell me that it's our destiny to push Pan-Africanism? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. That's why y'all have been preaching Pan-Africanism for well over a decade. Yet you still struggle to get 6,000, 7,000 views on your videos. You're sitting up here with next to no people listening to that garbage. Yet you've been out here preaching it for well over a decade. That's definitely applies to SETI. He was going around giving lectures before he hopped on the internet. You would think that the views on your videos would be bussing. Instead, the views are busted. Straight up and down busted. This does not look, look at this. Ain't nobody trying to hear this garbage. This Pan-African garbage. The people who listening to this garbage is your die-hard supporters from 1999. It's them same old jokers over 50 years old listening to you just because they know you. Oh, that's SETI. I've been knowing them for years. Black Americans ain't trying to hear this garbage. And blacks in the diaspora not trying to hear this Pan-African foolishness. It's dead. You can hang it up. Hang it out to dry. It is a pipe dream at this point. And I'm just sick and tired. I'm sick of it. I made a video, my most recent, it's not the most recent. I made a video where I responded to a bunch of this nonsense that was spewed by General SETI. Listen to this.
The FBI. They come over here all the time. They don't feel why do they feel comfortable over here? You see what I'm saying? Because I agree with damn near everything you teach except these 2 and 3 things right here. You see what I'm saying? Which could be worked on. You see, I agree with it. You see, but I don't agree with this part. So it should be more, it should be enough of us what we can agree on where we should be, in alliance. What the fuck We should be in alliance. What is all it is, this dissension and shit. You can explain these motherfuckers as tethers and shit without trying to destroy what them teachers laid down.
Don't nobody worship Dr. Ben over here. We're not worshiping John Henry Clark. These dudes out here pushing the worship of black men who wrote books. And we supposed to believe and follow and advocate everything that they wrote in there. That ain't gonna fly either. You're not gonna pressure us into co-signing with Pan Africanism just because the great John Henry Clark co-signed with it, just because Dr. Ben co-signed with it. Well, don't try to use their clout to pressure us into co-signing with Pan Africanism. No.
That's bullshit. And I don't believe no other way. You see, I don't believe no other way. But anyway, family, hey, support the General Hook, support the General. This is not no dissension from the General, other than calling you out. Got to call you out on that. And you understand what I'm saying? That's real talk. These my teachers, okay? My teachers. You niggas wasn't even on the scene. None of you. Straight up. And I just say...
He talking about Tariq Nasheed and the FBA movement. Who cares? Who cares if it's a modern or recent perspective? Is that supposed to make it somehow untrue or irrelevant? No. In fact, like I said, it's a sign of evolution. We're getting smarter. You notice how we broke away slowly, started breaking away from Pan Africanism. The more technology evolved and the more we became able to get to actually know blacks in the diaspora, the more we learned about their hate for us and their worship for white folk, the less we start rocking with Pan Africanism. It's a dead, deteriorated ideology, and y'all mad about it. That's why they be blowing off so much steam. SETI, Neferkari Dessalines, mad because ain't nobody feeling this nonsense. I mean, nobody. Not even the Africans in the diaspora. The Africans and Caribbeans in the diaspora who support Pan-Africanism, listen close now, they only do it to enjoy the benefits of being seen as the same as black Americans. They over here and they want handouts. So of course they're going to be like, oh yeah, that's my brother. But the first thing these people do when they get over here is separate themselves from us. The first thing they want to do is hold up their flag and push Nigeria, Jamaica. They want white people to know we are not them. And you want us to be at the forefront of Pan-Africanism? As several people in the comment section pointed out, on that video I made, it has always been one-sided. Always been one-sided. And we just not about to continue to push this old... See, a lot of these jokers have monetized the ideology of Pan-Africanism. So they're still trying to fight to keep it relevant because that's what they base their whole business and channel on. Said he got his YouTube channels and his website, and it's all based on this Pan Africanism. What is y'all doing over there anyway? Other than talking about Egypt, talking about some news that is being talked about in certain countries in Africa, like I pointed out with Neferkari. All he does is share news stories from Africa, different countries in Africa. How is that supposed to be Pan-Africanism? How are y'all practicing Pan-Africanism? Tell me, let me know. In what way are you all practicing Pan-Africanism? You don't even know. Y'all can't even answer that question. It's nonsense. It's a pipe dream. Nothing but an old, outdated philosophy.
Say it just like that. Nigga, I was with Dr. Ben and Dr. John Henry Clark, nigga, when it
And a lot of it is connected to this idolatry that you hear and see right now, where they worship basically men who wrote books, men who are teachers, scholars, who are university professors. Remember, Dr. Clark was a school teacher. He wasn't a god that descended from heaven, like you trying to project him. And what? I will never go against the scriptures. That's what this is. We are evolving and have evolved beyond Pan-Africanism. Nobody, I'm not about to sit here and call myself an African. No, thank you. And again, no other group is forced to do this. You don't have people saying, hey, stop calling yourself Jamaican. Stop calling yourself Haitian. Why you keep calling yourself Haitian? You're an African. It's only when Black Americans say, I'm Black American. I ain't no African. Africans themselves are the first people to remind us that we're different. They come over here and start waving their flag. They come over here and say, you are a Nakata. I am not a Nakata. I'm a real African. That's another thing. Us sitting over here calling ourselves African automatically puts them in a superior position, because at any given moment, all they have to say is, I'm a real African. You as a Black American sitting up here calling yourself African gives them the ability to put you beneath them, and you best believe they're going to take advantage of it as soon as you say something that they don't like. Well, I'm the real African. You are not the real African. You don't know your roots. You don't know who you are. Ain't nobody about to position ourselves to be their inferiors. And you see, that's what they want. That's why they fight so hard against us. You are African, because it makes them feel superior. You are our children. You are our offspring. You are the sons and daughters of Africa, of us, and I'm a real African. Get out of here. As some people pointed out, we originated all over the earth, not just Africa. And honestly, that makes more sense than anything else. We have been over here in America for eons. Just like Other blacks have been in their parts of the world for eons. We are Americans. If you want to get as specific as possible, we are the true Americans, period. We are not Africans. Get that through your thick skulls. We are not Africans. We have African ancestry. That's it. That is it. We don't carry nothing else from Africa. There was somebody in my comment section who left some comments, and they left some links. They left some links, and I want to share them with you. They were critical. They was critical of me and what I had to say about Puerto Ricans. Right? Where we at? Wait a minute. What's going on? Okay, yeah. I made a video. I made several videos talking about how Puerto Ricans did not create hip hop. And they didn't. They didn't even help to create hip hop. It was nothing like that. It's just straight up lunacy. Second of all, they're not from these people. Look at this. Show y'all something here. And this person left a bunch of links. Look at this. Here is the music industry from Africa talking about, I guess, the origin of hip hop, and I guess where we got it from. Oh, this is the roots. This is the roots of hip hop. Let me show you how much we're not African. Look at this.
Dance traveled to Puerto Rico and filmed this footage for their episode on Bomba Dancing. Make sure you check out that episode.
Get out of here. Get out of here. These goofy. Look at this. Oh, here it is. Look what he said. This is the original Puerto Rican hood music. What you play was Spanish from Spain. The original Puerto Rican hood music. Listen to this. That music has no rhythm. Zero. I don't care what kind of bamba, la bamba dance this is. You think it's supposed to carry more weight just because this black chick with a big afro is up here dancing to it? Is that supposed to give it some extra credibility? It doesn't. This music has no rhythm. Call this hood music. This is hood music? That's garbage. That's garbage. You sitting up here slapping a drum repeatedly all off beat. That's supposed to be, that ain't got nothing to do with us. That ain't got nothing to do with black American men who created hip hop. This ain't got nothing to do with our culture. When you listen to our music, it sounds nothing like this. This is not our roots. We was not sitting up in no attic or no bedroom, nothing, nowhere, listening to this garbage, dancing to it, and created hip hop out of it. You're dreaming. You got some pipe dreams popping off if that's what's going through your head. This is not our roots. Y'all are so desperate to make y'all's rhythmless, soulless culture our origins. It's not. It's not. What we got popping off over here is not connected to and did not originate with y'all rhythmless, soulless, bata drum slapping, goofy sounding music. Beat it. Beat it.
Before 1945, there were fewer than 60,000 Puerto Ricans in New York City. In September 1948, a modern DC-7...
Get out of here. I'm leaving these stupid links. He think he cooking. He left these links think he cooking. What is this? Sammy Davis Jr., American singer, actor, comedian. What is this?
Sammy Davis Jr. was the greatest entertainer in the world. He could act in movies. He could sing. He could dance. He was one of the greatest tap dancers.
What you leaving this link for? Just goofy. Goofy. I played several videos that's from Puerto Rico and Jamaica. I played their music from the 1960s and 1970s. Let's see, 70s. No, let's go with this. I've played music from Africa. I've played music from Africa. The music that they were listening to and playing in the 60s and 70s. I don't know what this is. Yeah, no, this is not us. This is not us. Can't you, you can hear how different we are. I'm not about to pretend to be these people. That's what y'all want us to do. You want us to get up and dance to this garbage. And there's a number of Black Americans who have done this. They'll put on the African clothes, and when they start playing this garbage music, they'll get up and start dancing and pretend like this music is popping. It's not popping. Y'all always bring up how y'all speak y'all's native language and we don't. Y'all always point out how you all have your native names and we don't. You're always pointing out this. You're always pointing out that about Black Americans. Yet you still want us to identify as Africans. That tells you that you want us to identify as Africans for your benefit. Up here telling us how African we are not, at the same time trying to shame us into identifying as African. No, thank you. Pan Africanism is a pipe dream. It's a joke. Your followers are not increasing. They are decreasing. And Black Americans who co-sign with exalting their own ancestry and lineage, that population is growing. It ain't nothing you can do to stop it. Just pay attention for a minute to what you're doing. You're trying to get a group of people to stop venerating their own ancestry and instead venerate Africa, Africans. Beat it. I don't care how many elders you got. I don't care how many elders wrote books that you love. It's a old, outdated, unrealistic ideology. And people ain't rocking with it. Deal with it. That's why they can never make an argument for Pan Africanism and make it make sense. Y'all not persuasive at all. All you do is get up and whine and cry and complain about how people shitting on it. Oh, Pan-Africanists are the most attacked. Oh, why you got Pan-Africanists on your wall, but yet you attack Pan-Africanism? That's because we're men. And we can appreciate Dr. Ben. We can appreciate Dr. Clark and still disagree with Pan-Africanism. The fact that you can't understand that is your problem. That's a problem with your brain. And I can't help you with that. But save the Pan-African lectures. It's over with. It's over with. That's a thing of the past. Y'all ate off of the ideology of Pan-Africanism. Be happy with the few years that you ate off it. But them days is over, and you're not going to bring them back. It will never be back. Also, tell me how Pan-Africanism makes sense when you got so many of the women who worship Brad. Brad worship is a staple among black women globally. It is a real phenomenon. Let me show you something. And I talked about this on my SBW channel. Look at this. This black woman created this post. She said, first time ever dating a white man. I think I love him, but I'm conflicted. She says, I'm a 31-year-old black Londoner with Nigerian heritage. She said that she always seen herself with a black man. She said she's always seen herself as a pro-black person. Said she absolutely loved the idea of black love. And always had the idea of marrying a beautiful black man and having a beautiful black family. Says she also always thought that love is a conscious choice. And in a world low-key designed for us to hate ourselves, loving black is a big F-U to that. She said, I obviously have no idea if this will work out or how far it will go, but I find myself thinking about it. And then it crops up that this is a white man. She said, I don't know. Feel like it causes me to question what I had defined for myself. I told y'all. They get up here and pretend to be pro-black. It doesn't really touch their spirits like that. All it takes is for a Brad to approach them. And they're going to be swept right off their feet. All this pro-black pretending that they do, they only do it to try to get a man that's most available for them. To try to get one of the men that they have the best chance of getting, of obtaining. And they look at Brad as a rather unrealistic partner. But as soon as it's a reality for them, as soon as a Brad approaches them, all that pro-black and black love go right out the window. And the continental Africans, the blacks in the Caribbean, they have an intense admiration and obsession with Brad. The women and the men. Like I said, white people show up in Africa, they start singing and dancing. They will follow them around. A white person walk through their neighborhood, their village, they're going to pull out cameras if they got them, follow them around, and literally treat them like a god on earth. There are videos all over the internet showing it. And you telling me that out of that, we're supposed to create Pan Africanism? If you don't get out of here, so give it a rest, please. It's a pipe dream. Look at this. Why am I only attracted to white men as a black woman? Dude, your black woman is God, your queens. Worship Brad. Tahuti, you and Tahuti came out with this black woman is God concept at a time when black women had kicked off the swirl movement. Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Nobody about to have no Pan-Africanism when your women worship Brad and hate themselves and hate you. Get out of here. Let's be realistic. We're talking about the mothers here. The mothers of the nation. Brad worshipers. Worship the ground he walks on. Immediately after slavery, you had brothels here in the United States built by black women for white men only. You had black American women still working for Brad, helping Becky to earn the right to vote over us. Y'all's women out here worshiping Brad. And you want to preach about Pan-Africanism? Man, if you don't beat it, get that garbage, outdated ideology that really in today's time don't even make no sense. What are we supposed to be doing? If I want to practice Pan-Africanism right now, exactly how do I do it? I tell you how they want us to do it. to just sit up and call ourselves African? You just want us to call ourselves African. And what? Share news stories from Africa? Oh, today in Burkina Faso, somebody found a slipper. Black power. Man, get out of here. Get out. Answer that question. Since we asking questions, how are we supposed to practice this stupid Pan-African? Exactly how? You know full well that it involves reaching out to other African people, to blacks in the diaspora, trying to build some type of bond and connection with these people who worship white folk and hate black Americans. Like I said, black Americans are the most hated demographic on the planet. And we are hated also by other black groups. We the last group that need to be out here preaching Pan Africanism. Beat it. I'll leave it there.